OnePlus 7 Pro Review.
Overall about OnePlus Pro. The OnePlus 7 Pro has a few surprises behind its stunning all-screen front, unblemished by a notch cutout or punch-hole camera. It hides a novel pop-up selfie camera and offers a 90Hz screen refresh rate that makes games and movie watching look extremely fluid. It has features that Apple and Samsung aren't giving you in 2019, and performance to match. One more surprise, though, it costs almost as much as the iPhone XR and Galaxy S10e. The OnePlus 7 Pro is finally here, ready to take your portrait with its novel pop-up selfie camera and then dazzle you with its silky smooth, truly unblemished all-screen display, two features Apple and Samsung can't match with their market-leading flagship phones.
What you get for the extra money is an upgrade fully deserving of the Pro name, thankfully. This phone's immersive 6.67-inch screen challenges Samsung's display crown by ditching the ugly bezel outline and gaining a 90Hz refresh rate for a more fluid gaming and even scrolling experience. Its 19.5:9 aspect ratio is tall, small hands won't reach all corners of the stretched-out display. We almost wish there was a mini OnePlus 7 Pro, but we do appreciate the curved edges for a thinner profile. The second-gen in-screen fingerprint sensor has also been improved to help you more reliably access the phone the first time you press your thumb to the glass. Underneath the bright, HDR10 Plus screen are Qualcomm's top-of-the-line Snapdragon 855 chipset, a hefty 4,000 mph battery that consistently powered us through a full day, and up to 256 GB of storage and 12 GB of RAM. That latter spec is actually more than you need from a phone in 2019, so the 8 GB version is just fine. The OnePlus 7 Pro release date is Friday, May 17, although some people in the US will be able to purchase it immediately after today's May 14 launch event via T-Mobile promotion. Everyone else will have to wait. It costs $669 for its entry-level configuration with 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage, an option only available in mirror gray, and goes up to $749 for the 256 GB, 12 GB of RAM option, with this version only available in the more appealing Nebula Blue finish. We think the sweet spot for most OnePlus 7 Pro buyers will be $699 for the 256 GB, 8 GB configuration, which is also what T-Mobile happens to be pushing to all of its consumers in the US. And this is also the only option to come in both mirror gray and Nebula Blue. Is OnePlus 7 Pro too expensive for you? A cheaper, less flashy OnePlus 7 will be sold eventually in the UK and Europe, while the OnePlus 6T will continue to be sold in the US, which won't get the OnePlus 7 at all. Weight, 206 gram. Dimensions, 162 by 75 by 8.8. OS, Android 9. Screen size, 6.67 inch. Resolution, QHD+. CPU, Snapdragon 855. RAM, 6 GB/8 GB/12 GB. Storage, 128 256 GB. Battery, 4000 mAh. Rear camera, 48 MP plus 8 MP plus 16 MP. Front camera, 16 MP. Waterproof, no official rating. Headphone jack, no. This is where OnePlus has put the most work into its new phone, and it shows. There's more screen, and more fluidity, here than on almost any phone we've tested to date. The OnePlus 7 Pro will be the first true all-screen phone that most of the world will be able to buy. There's no notch and no punch-hole blemishes. Its novel pop-up front camera doesn't eat into the display real estate, and it's an idea we've already seen in Vivo, Oppo and Xiaomi devices launched in China. But this phone has worldwide appeal. Its bezel-less 6.67-inch display is only half the story. OnePlus calls its display fluid AMOLED, touting a refresh rate of 90 Hz instead of the usual 60 Hz. We experienced smoother motion when watching TV and playing games, and also found that simply scrolling web pages looked better. It's hard to go back to 60 Hz after experiencing the OnePlus 7 Pro at 90 Hz. Every phone should have this. We've tested, and appreciate, the gamer-focused Razer Phone 2 at 120 Hz and the Asus ROG Phone, which sits at a OnePlus tying 90 Hz. But the 7 Pro offers a more mainstream design and appeal, and it has faster specs, a better camera and superior software to boot. The OnePlus 7 Pro has a 19.5:9 aspect ratio that stretches from top to bottom, making it easier to get sucked into a fast-paced racing game on this screen. But, as mentioned, its tall proportions mean it's not ideal for anyone who's looking for a smaller phone. Curved edges give it a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus vibe, only it's a tad bigger. No micro SD card slot or IP water resistance rating, but mute switch returns. In-screen fingerprint sensor is faster and more accurate than on the 6T. The OnePlus 7 Pro design is almost everything you want from a smartphone in 2019. It looks like an ever so slightly taller version of the Galaxy S10 Plus, without the punch-hole camera. It has the same thin black bezel screen outline, same curved edges, and same glass build, with the tapered edges coming to a fine point, making it easy to grasp the thin frame. It's hard not to like holding this big phone, even if it does take two hands to operate it comfortably. And if you're afraid of dropping it, OnePlus has included a clear plastic no-frills case in the box. OnePlus 7 Pro's colors are glossy mirror gray and the more appealing nebula blue gradient in a matte finish, although, as mentioned, your choice of color is dependent on which storage, RAM combination you opt for. Later this year, the company will also introduce a glossy golden almond color that also looked like a standout hue when we got to see it. Not everything mirrors Samsung's design, and that's both good and bad news. We love the psychical alert slider on the right side, why the iPhone continues to be the only other smartphone line with an easy to blindly access mute switch is beyond us. There's also no Bixby button to mistake for a volume down button on the left side. OnePlus sticks an on-screen Google Assistant shortcut in the bottom left corner of the lock screen, and that's just fine for us. What the OnePlus 7 Pro lacks is a 3.5mm headphone port. The company axed it from last year's 6T, and it was hardly going to bring the feature back when it has improved bullet wireless 2 earbuds to sell you. It's also 0 for 10 on adding wireless charging and a micro SD card slot. And it's not officially IP certified water resistant, though the theory is that this is just a way to save money and it'll do fine with a normal dunk. These omissions are either a big deal for you, or they're not. We do think the internal storage options are generous enough for most people. Mechanical pop-up selfie camera delivers a wow factor worldwide. Neat free fall protection trick minimizes risk to new moving parts. Actual front camera photo quality is very good, but not the best. We're not sure if pop-up selfie cameras are the future of our self-indulgent smartphone photos, but it's a wow-inducing idea for 2019, and they leave phone screen completely unblemished. The camera pops out of the top of the OnePlus 7 Pro's body with a faint mechanical whir, but only when the camera app is active and in selfie mode. Otherwise, it remains hidden. Concerned that introducing new mechanical parts would leave this phone prone to damage? Us too. What's neat is that if you drop it, or pretend to drop it like we did to trigger the gyro sensor, the pop-up camera actually retreats back into its protective shell while in free fall. It's still a part that can break, but this is a well-thought-out safety measure to minimize risk. The actual photo quality matches the camera's spring-loaded sophistication, sometimes. It thrives in well-lit environments, smooths skin way too aggressively in dim lighting, and overall has superior HDR compared to the front camera in other phones in this price range, though the Google Pixel 3 and Huawei P30 Pro took far better selfies in our side-by-side tests. It's a step up from the more ghostly, often blown-out selfie photos we got using the OnePlus 6T and its teardrop-shaped front camera, though be aware that the OnePlus 7 Pro's pop-up camera exhibits some barrel distortion due to its wide field of view. You may have a long face for more than one reason if you hold this handset below your chin. Main 48MP camera offers much better photo quality over the 6T. New 16MP ultra-wide lens and 8MP telephoto lens for 3x optical zoom. Night sight mode improves, but can be worthless without a tripod. This main camera has consistently been OnePlus' biggest weakness. Good news, we found that the OnePlus 7 Pro triple lens rear camera captures vastly better photos than its predecessors, even if it isn't always close to being the best camera phone. Its 48MP camera with an f/1.6 aperture leads the charge, exhibiting more texture, less shadow, and slightly warmer colors than last year's OnePlus phones. Gone are the occasionally ghostly and often muddy-looking pictures in favor of brighter, sharper images, especially in ample light. Here's why still isn't the best: in dim light, it's often too warm and amps up skin smoothing to compensate for noise. No one wants an airbrushed face with a red glow in a restaurant photos. Side-by-side comparisons show that the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3a have more color pop when appropriate, and better portrait bokeh. The portrait mode here is uncomfortably tight, a lot more so than the OnePlus 6T, and lacks clarity in low light. Night sight mode is back for such low light shots, and it's been improved. Specifically, it's tempered to not blow out white lights in mixed lightning night shots. But you're going to have to put the OnePlus 7 Pro on a tripod to really do this mode justice. Even a slightly shaky hand on a cold night makes a scene look as if it's melting all around you, and any movement causes blurriness. The 8MP f/2.4 telephoto lens jumps to a 3x optical zoom and, with OIS, optical image stabilization, it does a nice job of capturing far-off subjects without distortion. It's no Huawei P30 Pro with that phone's 5x optical zoom, but it gets you in tighter than Apple, Samsung and LG's zoom lenses. The 16MP f/2.2 ultra-wide lens does the opposite, offering a 117-degree field of view that we found ideal for landscape photos. With the OnePlus 7 Pro we have a great but not flawless smartphone camera. Its triple lens configuration offers shot variety, but its biggest attribute is the fact that it fixes the problems experienced with last year's OnePlus cameras. The best cheap camera phone is the Pixel 3a and Pixel 3 XL, but the OnePlus 7 Pro tagline "Go Beyond Speed" means this phone focuses on more than just clock speed, but raw performance certainly isn't neglected. It's among the fastest Android phones we've tested, tied with the LG G8 and nearly as fast as the Samsung Galaxy S10 series. It's the mighty Snapdragon 855 chipset that delivers a nice boost in clock speed, and up to 12 GB of RAM that offers a high ceiling. We had no problem running apps, while downloading games, and watching a video all at the same time. That said, most people should be fine with the 8 GB version of this phone. The OnePlus 7 Pro is built for performance. Extending its horsepower, there's a 10-layer liquid cooling system underneath the glass hood to prevent the phone from getting too hot, while there's also a new haptic vibration motor to provide instant feedback with new levels of granularity. The RAM boost, cooling system and enhanced vibrations combine to make this a solid gaming phone. There's one more secret weapon in the OnePlus 7 Pro specs. It's the world's first phone with UFS 3.0 storage. This means it has faster read and write speeds, so while OnePlus persists with not including a micro SD slot, The transfer speeds from the beefy internal storage options are 20x faster than those from the external card format that's popular among other Android phones. Likeable lightweight software overlay on top of Android Pie. Extended screenshot tool returns with more fluidity. Zen mode is a nice companion to digital well-being. Oxygen OS is OnePlus software skin running on top of Android 9.0 Pie. It offers a light amount of alterations to Google's operating system ethos, with a minimalistic flat design, and the extras that are here are really likable changes. New with the OnePlus 7 Pro software suite is a built-in screen recorder. You can capture everything that's happening on your display if you want to, for example, create a play-by-play video tutorial. More than all-day battery life with the default Full HD resolution. The 4100 mAh battery capacity is the largest in a Galaxy S phone. Samsung's fast charging is slower than rivals, but still beats Apple.